How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're going to go through some cryptos that have a lot of news, ones that you want to be paying attention to, maybe even buying for the next bull run. Some of them are literally making all-time highs. Some are very small, and they're literally like buying Cardano at a fraction of a penny. Actually, like a quarter of a penny. If you look at the market cap, some of them have massive potential. Now, not all of these are super small cryptocurrencies. Some are ones that are pretty big that I just think will do really well in the next bull run. But one specifically is very small, has a lot of potential. And when you look at the market cap, it is really like buying Cardano at 0.0025 cents. Like literally over 100x smaller than Cardano. The market cap also works out to be about like buying Solana at 25 cents or buying XRP at a fraction of a penny. The market cap is extremely small compared to some of these top cryptocurrencies. Now, of course, I want to say right off the bat, some of these I own. So I would not be talking about a lot of these, or I wouldn't be making a video like this without including some that I own, because I obviously buy cryptos that I think have large potential. Now, of course, there are cryptos also that I'm bringing up on this list that I have not bought into yet. So if you want to follow along, see when I buy them, you can definitely do that. Hit subscribe, turn that bell notification underneath the video. Cryptos are pumping here today. You look, and Bitcoin, actually, even though it says it's down in the last 24 hours slightly, it was down at 35,000 yesterday. Now it's at 36,250. We have BNB up 3.2%. We have Solana up 12.7%, back to an all-time, well, not an all-time high, a yearly high here today. We have Cardano up. A lot of crypto significantly up, some up 20+%, which we'll be talking about today, why they're up that much. Before we get started, if you don't already trade over on Margex, I would highly suggest it. They don't have any KYC, and if you are an experienced trader, you can leverage trade on this platform, and you can actually take, let's say, $100 and buy $5,000 worth of Bitcoin. Now, make sure you know the risks of that before you start doing it, but I'll leave a link to this underneath the video so you can check it out. It's one of the best platforms out there because I think it's really simple and easy to use, and you can use a bunch of different cryptocurrencies as collateral and trade them, or trade, let's say, Bitcoin with XRP collateral, or trade XRP with Bitcoin collateral, stuff like that. There's also some links down there to Treasure. They have a big sale coming up, but you can still get 15% off now if you don't want to wait. Now, cryptos are starting to move today. I think basically we had a couple of good days of CPI and PPI. I'm not going to spend long on this, but we are seeing inflation come down. Month over month, the PPI was negative 0.5% versus plus 1% expected. The core was 0% versus plus 0.3% expected. So CPI and PPI, which is PPI is a leading indicator because it's a producer price index. It's what producers are paying. It is coming down pretty fast. So I think a lot of people are thinking maybe this narrative that inflation is going to rise back up and the Fed's going to have to start raising rates is dying. Now, I have talked about Bitcoin dominance a lot on the channel. We're going to get into some cryptos here in a second, but we're at an interesting point for dominance. We are coming back down to this trend line. We have seen Bitcoin dominance bounce off this a handful of times, and we continue to move up. So either we break down and altcoins probably rally even more, or dominance is going to go on a tear here soon. I mean, look at the last time that one of the last times we bounced against it, and then the next time we moved up to new highs on Bitcoin dominance. So pay attention to that. Now, yesterday, I talked about buy this dip. I said why crypto is crashing. And in the video, I explained that if you've been around in crypto and this isn't your first rodeo, this isn't like the first couple months you've been invested, yesterday, moving down $3,000 from the recent high was no big deal. And I said, honestly, there are a couple different reasons for it, but I think Bitcoin and crypto are still bullish long term. And even if we retest 32,000, it's still bullish. Now today, we're starting to see cryptos move back up. And that's why I said buy the dip. I actually bought a crypto yesterday, one that I'll talk about later in the video. Actually, the crypto I think has maybe the most potential. Also, one of the riskier cryptos is towards the end of the video, so stay through to that. But the first crypto on this list is XRP. XRP is on a tear this year, going from 38 cents up to 64 cents. It was even at 80 cents earlier. There was a little bit of a scare just a few days ago. Maybe it was yesterday. I can't even keep track at this point because BlackRock it sounded like they were going to create a XRP ETF, so then it spiked up and then it fell back down. But a lot of people don't realize XRP is extremely popular. XRP dominates Ethereum in interest in almost every US state. This was published just about 10 days ago. Google Trends data shows that XRP is more popular than Ethereum in 47 states, with the highest interest coming from Delaware, Nevada, Louisiana, Arizona, and Hawaii. If you're one of those states, let me know in the comment section. I have been cleaning up the comment section too, so I'll see every comment, even if I don't heart it or thumbs up it. But I think part of this, to be honest, is because they have been in a lawsuit with the SEC. So a lot of people that typically wouldn't look at XRP are still trying to check out the lawsuit all the time. But XRP is still extremely popular. A lot of people love it. And a lot of people are estimating it to go up pretty significantly. Forecasting the future value of XRP depends greatly among the analysts, from 90 cents by the summer to an extreme prediction of $500. A lot of people think that this is going to be the future of currency, with a lot of banks using XRP. It's going to be adopted. And to be honest, they have been making a lot of large partnerships. They have been working with banks. They have been working with countries. So I do think this is one that you have to pay attention to. It is a large market cap, so that's something to consider. It probably won't move up as aggressively as maybe a smaller cryptocurrency, but it is one that I'd be paying attention to for the next bull run. Now, the next one on this list, CASA. I talked about it at 4 cents maybe. Now it's at almost 12 cents. It just hit an all-time high. If you look here, spiking up recently. And I've been talking about this whole time. So anyone that says, hey, you're just talking about now that's an all-time high. Well, I've been talking about it since it was at an all-time high way back here. Actually, further back than that. If we look here, I was talking about it back when it was at the original all-time high of like 4 cents. So back here in maybe July. And I actually have a video on it. If you haven't seen this video already, let's see if I can find it here. Why you need 6,600 CASA. And I think this video aged pretty well. I bought some and talked about how I was buying a little bit in this video, or maybe I bought it right after. I did buy some CASA though, because I wanted to pay more attention to it. It is a crypto that is trying to solve the blockchain trilemma, like a lot of cryptos, but it continues to have so much support and a great community, which is important, and it continues to move up. It's a $2.5 billion market cap. I think it's around 35th in terms of the largest cryptocurrency. Now, they just are teasing a few things now. They have some hints on what Caspium is. My brother-in-law says smart contracts coming to CASA. Looks like a lot of development has been happening on Caspium. So they are continuing to pump up the community with what could possibly be coming next. And honestly, there's not much resistance here because they are at all-time highs. So it's impossible to know how high this thing could go. Of course, I typically don't love to buy cryptos that are at all-time highs, but that also means that sometimes you miss out on big pumps. Still is a large market cap, but when you compare it to something even like Cardano, it's 5 times smaller, and Cardano is still down a lot. And Cardano has smart contracts, but doesn't have much happening on chain. So I'm watching CASA. I'm paying attention to it. I have a small position in it, but it's one that I am looking forward to seeing what it does for the next bull run. Now, I have to put Bitcoin on the list. We'll get into some smaller cryptos, but Bitcoin has to be looked at. China's largest board and card game company, Boya, is going to acquire $45 million of Bitcoin and $45 million of Ethereum. They're also going to buy some stablecoins if what they're trying to do is approved by shareholders. We also heard from today, German banking giant, Commerzbank receives license to offer Bitcoin and crypto custody. A lot of banks are trying to get into this because it can be profitable, right? They'll say, hey, we'll take your Bitcoin, maybe we'll insure it too, if they offer that, and we'll do that for 1%. And then someone goes and buys $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Well, the bank just made $10 million a year. So something like this can be highly profitable. I think a lot of banks are trying to get in there. I mean, there's so much bullish news on Bitcoin. I've talked about it in almost every video. Bitcoin halving continues to get closer. The spot ETF continues to get closer. Big companies are adopting. Big companies are buying Bitcoin, and it becomes more bullish by the day. So I think you have to include Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's my largest position by far. It is the safest crypto, I think, out there, and I will continue to watch it. I think it's one that you want to put on your list. Now, Ethereum. is one that I'm watching too. I mean, Ethereum, obviously the second largest. We'll get into a small one here that is pretty small compared to a lot of the ones that we're talking about right now. But $242 billion means it's not going to move up probably as much as some other layer ones, like maybe Solana, Cardano, those types of layer ones. But it is still used the most. So if cryptocurrency pumps up, there's going to be a lot of activity. Ethereum's probably going to go up. Fees are going to go up. They're going to make a lot of money in fees, and they're going to be able to develop even more on the platform. So Ethereum is deflationary over the last year. I think it will be harder and harder to get your hands on some Ethereum, especially as more and more activity goes on the chain. Now, does Ethereum stay as the number one layer one? I'm not sure. If anything really wants to have a lot of volume, they probably are going to use a layer 2 or use some other layer 1 like Polygon or Solana, something like that, because Ethereum's just expensive. You can't play video games on Ethereum and have $10 transaction fees all the time. But still, I think it's one that you want to pay attention to. It's one that does give a yield to. A lot of institutions are looking at trying to secure a position in Ethereum. So I'll continue to pay attention to this. There's also some exciting news recently where BlackRock said that they are going to try to get a spot ETF for Ethereum as well, which could take more Ethereum off the market. The last one that I want to talk about, it's like buying Cardano at a quarter of a penny. If you take a look at their market cap, Cardano is around a $13 billion market cap at 37 cents. So this really is like buying Cardano at a penny. It's over 100 times smaller, about 150 times smaller. Now it does do something different. So CDFI or CDFI.fund, S-Fund token is one that I've been buying recently. It dipped a little bit over the weekend or over the beginning part of this week. I continued to buy. I first bought around $1.10, which if you look at this chart, I'm up significantly, but it's just been on a massive tear. All the way down from 55 cents to $1.50 in the last couple months. And some people don't want to buy it because they see it's up so much, but when you zoom out, it's still such a small market cap, such a small way too from where it was before. Now, I will say they do dilute a little bit. Their fully diluted market cap is 150 million. So if we do get back up to $14, $15, $16, it will be a much larger market cap than it was last time. But they just announced that they're bringing bridges to Ethereum and Arbitrum with farming and staking included. So they're going to be listed on Uniswap and Camelot. This is big news. Obviously, more people can use it. More people can buy it. Right now, I've been buying on PancakeSwap. A lot of people have been asking me about this recently, and I've done some videos explaining this, but you can just scroll down to the bottom of a cryptocurrency and look on where it's listed, but it's also listed on HTX, BitGet.io, KuCoin, but PancakeSwap is by far the easiest place to get it if you live here in the US. But as you can see, I have made videos on it before. I did a 5-minute stint on CDFI recently, but it is a gaming launch pad. So I think as more people try to invest money into the crypto market, as everything blows up, they'll be looking for smaller cryptocurrencies. They'll look for gaming cryptos, things that can pop off, and they'll want to get in early. So they'll buy CDFI tokens. Then they'll be able to invest in the projects at a very young age. And people will reinvest the S-Fund tokens. They'll continue to reinvest to try or buy more to try to get better and better tiers for the launch pad. So I'm buying this now. I'm probably going to continue buying it because I want to build up a position that's maybe a couple percent of my portfolio. I see this as a big winner. This is by far the riskiest, one of the riskiest cryptos in my portfolio, but I also think it's got one of the best potentials. And I'm not saying that it will get to Cardano's price, but I'm just saying when you look at it relative to some of the top cryptocurrencies, it is pretty small. And a lot of these cryptos are still far away from their peak. Like Cardano reached nearly 10x where it is right now. I believe it was over $100 billion market cap. At one point, it was $3.10, $3.20. So when you think about the next bull run and you think about how high some of these altcoins can move, CDFI going up 10, 20x is not out of the question. Now, let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Let me know if you think I'm spreading too much hopium. Let me know if you think I'm being too pessimistic. I can't include everything on this list. So there are cryptos I'm watching. Like, I watch all the cryptos. There are ones that I wish I was in heavier, but it just didn't fit my investing plan because I can't catch every single crypto. Like, I would love to have gotten Solana, right? I could have bought it. I've been watching the whole time, but my theory was Bitcoin dominance was going to move up, and it did. The problem is Bitcoin dominance kept on moving up, but Solana just moved up faster. So Solana was an outlier. It's one of the few cryptocurrencies that really outpaced Bitcoin over the last year. And yeah, I would like to be on that train, but buying a significant amount of Bitcoin stopped me from buying, other cryptocurrencies that have done nothing, like Cardano. I would be much worse off if I bought Cardano a year ago versus Bitcoin. Now, some people will go out there and just buy 50 different cryptos, and then they'll show you how much they're up, but they won't show you how much they invested. So a lot of people will say, yeah, I was in Solana, I was in XRP, I was in everything that goes up. They'll say that they were in it, but they won't show that it's 0.2% of their portfolio. I'm sitting here saying, hey, I have said this many times. Bitcoin is like 90% of my portfolio, and it's one of the best performing assets in crypto over the last year. Now, that being said, I am trying to get into some other crypto, so that won't always be the case. You have to continue to watch because I am changing, right? I am buying more CeDeFi. I am looking to get into alts at some point when I think other alts. I'm looking to get more into them when I think they're a better price. But let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. I think that's enough for today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me know if you learned anything, and let me know what cryptos you're most bullish on down below. Check out the link to Margex. Check out the links to Treasure. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.